Hello, welcome to Decor and Good Vibes with my name is Inchua. Just in case the first time you are coming across this channel, you're welcome. In today's video we are going to be DIYing. So let me give you a little backstory. I recently moved into my very first apartment and have been decorating little by little. I got some plants for my apartment a month ago, just what you can see in the back, and they've pretty much been sitting in plastic bucket for a couple of months now, but I'm about to change that today, and this video will be helpful to you as well if you want to elevate the look of your space but on a budget, right? So I got these pots, vases, whatever you choose to call them, for quite affordable or cheap actually, but I don't like how basic looking they are. Like, you literally see these everywhere. So the plan is to transform these into very minimalist Scandinavian expensive looking vases. So you're looking for a way to upgrade your space on a very thin budget, make it look beautiful, clean and more expensive. You want to stick around for this DIY.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead.
For this DIY, you need a vase, a pot, an empty bottle if that works, or even a bucket. Anything that can hold a plant will work. If you also have like old bottles that you want to put around your room or your apartment to, you know, upgrade the look, those can also work. You're also going to need a sealant. I've never used this for the purpose I'm about to use it for, so this is also like a first time for me. If you're watching this video, it means it works. I know they are usually used for sealing crevices and stuff like that in buildings. I think they can also be used for molding. And then you're going to need gloves because this is pretty much glue and it may get sticky. I don't have gloves, so I'm going to find a way to make it work. You may also need spray paint if you want to switch up the color of what the pot comes out at. So without further ado, let's get straight into this DIY. In addition to the sealant, you also need a bowl. I already started practicing. You need some baking powder or any sort of powder that can thicken the mixture. So first thing you do is put the sealant into a bowl. Add a few teaspoons of your baking powder or any powder to harden the mixture. Add enough water to form a paste like this. And now it's time to apply your paste onto whatever you choose. I would also like to say that don't choose a vase or a pot that has this type of holes or design on it. I think that I used way more paste because I had to first fill the holes before even trying to level everything. So don't do that. Get a vase or a bottle that is all smooth so that you can use way less product and have a very nice consistency and finish. That's my little advice if you're going to do this. But as you can see, all you need to do is apply the paste all over the pot or the bottle you choose and let it sit and dry. So I let it sit overnight and then I was ready to apply another layer of the paste onto the vase. But you must remember that before you apply your second or third coat, make sure that the first layer is already a bit dried and tacky. Hi, so this is day 2 of my DIY. I had to experiment with whatever I did and let it dry. So I let it sit and dry for like close to 12 hours or maybe 8 hours because I just finished applying the mixture like you saw me do in the previous slide, and I let it dry overnight. So this is what it looks like currently. Definitely not what I'm going for. So I went back to the store after the gym because I'd run out of supplies, right? So I went back to the store after the gym and I got 2 more cans of these. I initially bought just 2, but obviously it's not enough coverage, so I bought 2 more and hopefully it is enough. Last night I was contemplating on painting them because I would have to use a lot of this to be able to cover this. So I was thinking that once I get a kind of look I'm going for, I'll just paint it to cover the imperfections. So I got some spray paint. I also bought acrylic paint that I'm probably not end up using. We'll see how it goes. And I got gloves. So now I have gloves and my hands will not be messy anymore. I went back in and I applied about 2 more layers because, like I said, I chose a pot that didn't have a consistent or smooth surface, so I had to use a lot of the product. Once I was done applying all the layers, it was time for me to paint it. I didn't use a spray paint, even though I feel like you can get away with using a spray paint. I decided to use acrylic paint, and I bought 2 colors when I went shopping. So I had this brown color and the black one. I painted them on the thing to decide what color I wanted to go for. Eventually I decided to go for the black, so I just poured it onto a surface, and then once my pot was dried, I just applied the paint onto the pot like this. It's very easy. There's really no science to it. Just make sure that you're covering every bit of white if you don't like the white look. And then once you're done, and you do that for the entire pot, once you're done, you let it sit for a bit so that it dries, and then you go over it again. At least that's what I did. So I did that, and this is what it ended up looking like. You can still see the dents in the pot, but that aside, I really like the texture. I really like how imperfect it looks, and that was exactly what I was going for. Anyway, I decided to spray the inside of the pot, the part that won't have soil covering it, gold, so that it doesn't have that orange look, and I let them sit and dry overnight, and this is exactly what it looks like. I really love it. I love the fact that it's black because I decided to use black accents for my apartment. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. If you're going to be putting a real plant into the pot or the vase, make sure that you make holes or perforate the bottom of the pot so that when you do water your plant, the excess water can seep through. So that's exactly what I did. I'm using a hot glue gun. I heat it up a bit, and then because this is plastic, I just use that to perforate the bottom of the pot. Once I was done, it was time to transplant my plants, and this is what you see me doing over here. So this is pretty much how it turned out. Unfortunately, I totally forgot to take a proper video of what the pot looks like in a in a proper setup, but you get the picture. This is what it comes out as. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Also check out my previous video, which highlights 5 mistakes that you may currently be making, which is making your bedroom look cheap, boring, and outdated. So click on the video right here, check it out, and I'll see you over there. Ciao.
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palm.